welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for 13 subscribers already. I know it sounds like a little bit, but for me, really it's like a lot, honestly. Okay, well, on Instagram I told y'all if y'all actually wanted like a story time or a Q&A. Some of y'all said story time, some of y'all said Q&A, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do like a little story time, and then later on I'll do like a Q&A. Okay guys, so I thought about which story time to do, but I was like, I really don't know. But then I was like, what if I just tell them of like when I got married, if like why I got married so young and stuff like that, because a lot of people actually that know me, and that actually some that actually that don't know me thought that I got they forced me to marry my husband, which that's not the case, because I loved my husband, and since day one that when we met and we were dating, we really wanted to marry each other. So okay, let's start with this video. Okay guys, well, I met my husband I think it was March of 2012. And it was funny because he actually came to my house, and it's actually really impressive how God works, because my mom always told me, the day that you get married, ese hombre va a venir y va a tocar la puerta, vas a ver que Dios va a mandar a tu esposo. So what I just said right there, for those that don't speak Spanish, I said that my mom always used to say, the guy that's gonna marry you, he's gonna come and actually knock on that door, and he's gonna come and we're gonna meet him. And it's crazy because that day, I remember it so well. I was sitting in the couch, and then I was in the computer, I was doing my homework, and he actually came and he was like, oh, he's like, hi. And then I was like, who's this guy? What the heck? Like, he just walked in my house, like, who is he? And then I was like, oh, he's the guy that he and the other guy are gonna actually do our granite countertop in the kitchen. And I was like, oh really? I was like, oh okay, now I understand. I was like, oh hi. And then from there he was like looking at me, and I was like, you know what, I was like, this guy's like strange. And I was like, you know what, I never thought about like, you know, like liking him or anything, but you know, God works in mysterious ways. So after that, we didn't talk or nothing, because I mean, obviously we didn't know each other, and he had just came from Guatemala, so it was really crazy. Guys, excuse me if I use my hands a lot. I always use my hands a lot to express myself. And I remember that supposedly he said that I added him on Facebook, but I don't know, I have no idea, I don't remember. I think he added me on Facebook, because I don't usually add guys on Facebook, but well, it's whatever. Okay, so supposedly we added each other on Facebook, and then after like literally 2 weeks, he asked me out, and I was like, well, you know what, I mean, okay, well, let's give it a try. I mean, I don't know why not. I was like, let's give it a try, and probably it will work out. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So I was actually I believe 15 at that time, and dating. A lot of people were like saying like, why you dating him? Like, I like him and he likes me and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I don't know. He decided to ask me out. I mean, if you're dating him, like, you can tell me. He like, no, I'm not dating him, I just like him. Well, I mean, I was like, that's not my problem, right? Okay, so after that, I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that, and we can just like move on. I'm not feeling it. And he actually went to church that day, and it was a Tuesday, because we go to church. So it was a Tuesday, and he got mad because I didn't go to church, but my parents said not to go that day. So it was actually 7 o'clock, and when he got out, it was like about 9 p.m. And I actually texted him, and I was like, hey, you know what, I don't know, let's just end this and whatever. And I was like, so I broke up with him. And after that, like, it was like 20 minutes later, he sent me this long paragraph. I guess he was hurt because I just left him without like no reason. And he was like really hurt, I'm guessing, and he called me a whole bunch of mean things. I broke up with him. We blocked each other on Facebook, and then we didn't unblock each other until November 23rd of that same year. And it was because of this girl that this girl actually talked to him. They were like friends. I don't really know. And we were in this cena, like a dinner for Thanksgiving actually. So it's actually really close to this time right now. And that girl decided to call him that day, and we actually ended up talking to each other, which was me and him, and we decided to unblock each other. So after unblocking each other, like we started talking, and he was like, you know what, why don't we give it another try? And I was like, really? Like after all you told me? And he was like, no, I really love you and stuff. It's just that I felt really hurt, and I wanted you to get really mad. I was like, oh really? Like okay. Like, he just like calling me a whole bunch of stuff just for no reason. But you know, I was like, okay, I'll give you another try. And we started dating. And I remember that day I was gonna go to a concert. For those that actually know me, know that I'm Christian. So I was gonna go to Amiel San Marcos concert that was actually over here where I'm living right now. So I was like, I went, and then he texted me, and he was like, why don't we give it another try? And I was like, oh okay. So we gave it another try, and it was December the 16th, 2012. We started dating, and we turned 3 years after that. Of course, having our ups and downs, but I mean, every relationship has that. We turned 3 years, and I could not believe that we had been 3 years together. And he told me to live with him and everything. I think it was like after we turned like 3 years and a half, I actually ran away from my house, and it was something crazy because I just wanted to be with him. My parents were and are still really strict. They didn't like let me have a boyfriend and stuff. I know, because they didn't want me to get hurt. And now I understand it a lot. I actually left with him, and my mom got really mad, but then I came back. I came back that same day because my mom overreacts for everything. So everything went really wrong. Like, she wanted me to do everything straight out great. So she called me back home, and then she told me, if you want to do this the right way, you have to graduate, and you have to actually marry him, because I don't want you to just leave at the house without getting married, without una bendición, like debajo de nuestra familia, like knowing that we're gonna be under a family blessing and under God, of course. So that day we decided to come back. His mom came to my house. That day we talked, and it came out to a wedding plan, like planning a wedding. And I was like, well, I can't believe I'm planning my own wedding right now. I just ran away from home, and I'm planning a wedding right now. So we planned the wedding. She gave me the permission to actually leave with him that night, and while I was gonna plan my wedding. And she told me something really well. That day she told me something that I never thought that it was gonna like come by so quick. And the thing that she told me, she was like, I don't want you to get pregnant right away. Like, you have to take care of yourself. A kid right now, you're gonna see that it's really hard. And I remember leaving with him, and I was so happy. And then again, like, I'm sorry guys, seeing my parents like devastated because I was leaving, it was something really emotional for me, because now that I think about it, it's really sad, because you never know what they actually went through, because like, you know, I mean, I was still their baby for them, and I was leaving. And my dad was like really sad. He started crying. He was like, come on, Tanya, like I have given you everything, and you know what we have been through. You can't just leave like that. And my stubbornness was to the most that day, that I was like, I didn't even care that day. And that still hurts me today, just because I love my parents so much that I just look back to that day, and I'm like, how could I have done that day when I saw my parents crying in front of me, and I preferred a man. And still today, I do apologize to them every single time, and I'm like, I'm sorry. But then again, they're like, you got married and you have a great man by your side. And that really makes me really happy. And okay, guys, back to when I actually left with him. I left with him and I ended up pregnant. The day I found out was, oh my god, like y'all don't even know. If y'all actually want the video, comment and I will actually make the video because it was really crazy. But I found out I was pregnant. I didn't want to tell my mom. I was shivering. I was really, really scared to tell her because I know she was gonna have a breakdown and just be like, I told you not to and you did it and you disobeyed me again. But I needed to because, of course, my belly was going to grow and everybody was going to find out. And then I didn't want her to be the last one to know because she's my mother. Of course, I wanted her to know. I ended up texting her, and my dumb self was like, I need to tell you something. Like, guess what? You're going to be a grandma. I know, I was just really dumb that day because I just told her off, like, straight off. I told her. She texted me, and she was like, Tanya, are you playing around with me? Because I'm the type of person that likes to joke a lot. And I was like, no, mommy, you're going to be an abuela. And she literally wrote me this big paragraph. And she was like, forget you have a mom, forget you have a dad, forget you have a family. I told you if you're going to like become pregnant, I told you to take care of yourself. A kid right now is not going to make you any good. You're just starting life. I had just turned 18. And she was devastated because she didn't want me to suffer. And I didn't understand that at the moment. I started crying my eyes out. And I was like, you know what? I told him I just lost my mother and my father in my family because they don't want to know about me anymore. And he was like, he took the phone away from me and he was like, you're not going to look at the phone anymore. Just relax. It's going to probably affect the baby. Stop crying. And I cried so much. I was so overwhelmed. But my parents, they're the biggest blessing in my life. They're such a blessing. Everything I did wrong, they always forgave me. And my husband that day grabbed the phone and he called my mom. And he was really mad because my mom had actually told me that. But my husband, since I met him, he is a man that he is like so mature. I don't know why, but he's just so mature. And I love that about him. He talked to my mother and he was like, why are you telling her this? You know how sensitive she is. She's like crying her eyes out right now. And my mom understood that a baby wasn't gonna be like nothing bad because we were actually gonna get married and everything. But my mom, of course, she didn't want me to suffer. After like about a month, I was still texting back and forth with my mom. She was like, how are you? How are you doing? Are you feeling good? Like, do you need anything? I was actually living at my mother-in-law's house, which I was living in a little small room as well. I was just renting a little small room, but I didn't feel comfortable, like, because I wasn't, like, around them a lot. I missed my mom a lot because she was always, like, with me. I mean, I'm so close to her, and I am still right now. I'm close to her, to my father, to my siblings. And after a few months, we started planning my wedding, but I was already pregnant. And after that, I think I was actually 2 months pregnant when I was getting married. And a lot of people thought and started saying they forced you to marry him. Like, why don't you just accept it? And I was like, no. Like, y'all don't even know how much I love him. Y'all don't even know my situation. And a lot of people criticized me, criticized him. And y'all don't even know how many things just came over me, over my shoulders, because so many people just made me feel so heartbroken because They were like, he you're not marrying him because you want to. They would just like say that, and I was like, no, that's not true. I'm marrying him because I love him. Like, I was so happy I got married. I got married with the one and only man that I have truly actually loved. So it was August 20th, 2016 when I actually got married, and I was the happiest woman alive. I I could have never thanked God enough for my wedding. Got a beautiful dress. I got a whole bunch of people gave me so many blessings with like actually giving me some stuff, and I was really happy. I was I was overwhelmed with joy. Today, I have a beautiful baby daughter that's 10 months old, and she is my biggest joy. I am a teen mom, but I can tell you with the biggest joy that I am really happy. And a lot of people actually told me your future is just gonna end because you have a kid now. But no, my future actually began. Now that I think of her and that I see her, it just makes me want to keep moving on forward. I thank my parents because they never left my side, and my husband till today, that he's always with me. He's a great man, and I'm so glad I'm doing this video right now, because one day I want to look back and be like, I actually did this video, and I'm so happy. Doing videos have been something that I always wanted to do. I love interacting with new people. I want to thank each one of y'all that are actually watching this, and may God bless y'all a lot. And please comment, like, and subscribe if y'all actually want another video or story time with Tanya, another, well, a Q&A. I haven't done one, so I can't say another. A Q&A, or actually any story time that y'all want, just tell me and I will love to do it. Guys, sorry if I get really emotional. I'm just that type of person. I cry a lot, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. So comment down if y'all actually want to see another video, like what kind y'all want to see, and I will do it. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for those 13 subscribers, and see y'all next video.